Thank you for staying with us. Now, during the week, drama went down between popular musician Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, also known as Kwam. Several reports noted that Kwam was spotted sipping from a flask after boarding the plane, prompting the flight attendant to question him over concerns it might contain alcohol, which is banned on flights within Nigeria. The attendant allegedly requested that he hand over the flask, but he declined, claiming it contained a doctor's prescribed medication. When he persisted in keeping the flask, the airline crew reportedly asked him to leave the aircraft. Following this, Kwam left the plane but stayed close to it, seemingly attempting to hold the plane's departure. In a video seen, the singer was seen in front of the plane while airport officials engaged him in a conversation. The pilot, however, decided to take off, seemingly endangering the lives of the musician and the airport officials, a decision many believe warranted the NCAA sanction as the plane taxied the musician and the airport officials moved out of its way. The footage sparked public outcry online, with many Nigerians calling for accountability and a thorough probe of the incident. The licenses of the pilots were suspended and the musicians placed on a no-fly list. Now, Kwam has apologized over the incident, but the NCAA says the travel ban will remain in place indefinitely until ongoing investigations into the flight incident are concluded. Still with me to have this conversation is the executive editor of TVC News, Kayode Ladeinde, and Adams Abunu. For me, really, Kwam has apologized to the government, the airline, and indeed Nigerians. Nonetheless, he, as of this moment, is still on a no-fly list, which also includes international flights as well. But I'd like to ask you, do you think, or what do you make of the ban on him by the NCAA through the minister's instruction? Being that he has apologized, should there be a review of that?
Okay, there's a court of public opinion and there is a court of law. And what the minister has done is purely about the law. And that's one of the reasons why he's in government,
Indeed.
And what NCAA has also done is to follow the law. The court of public opinion is what he has done. And I think the criticism has reduced significantly over the apology. So let's separate the two.
That's right.
Do you understand? But having said that, I think we need to review the case again, because I listened to NCAA and all their releases, the reason why the pilot was suspended. Because some have said that why should the pilot be suspended? This is a man who held the plane hostage for more than 30 minutes, and the pilot had to avoid any possible terrorism and all kinds of analysis. I think it's still about the law. Now, there is something we call the air traffic control. Now, did the air traffic control clear the pilot to
take
move?
off? That's right.
Do you understand? So that investigation, what worries me is why they are taking too much time for us to see the outcome of the investigation. Because the big lesson, and that is really about the law. The law is not really about sentiment. It's about serving as deterrent to possible violators in the future. Because when people realize, because it could easily guess that there is some kind of lacuna on the part of the security at the airport. Kwam might think he's explaining himself, but he doesn't know that he has put some folks into trouble. How he passed the first, how he passed the second, that it has to take the pilot and whoever is in the plane to say, hey, what is going on? He said he got his water filled at that time. It's not about what he says now. It's about, was he holding the cup? And some other things that the investigation should quickly tell us. This shouldn't take time.
Yeah.
There were a lot of cameras that took it, and there are words that have been released, there are utterances that have been released. So I just feel that the law should take its course. Apology accepted, because a lot of us felt, oh, we are not going to even listen to the song. But now that has been put aside. We can go back to the song. We still love him as a good musician.
That's right. That's right.
But beyond that, the law is the law.
Mr. Abunu, let me come to you with this now. How be it that Kwam has apologized, But my concern really is, how do we stop this kind of behavior from politically exposed persons, maybe celebrities, and the likes in this country from reoccurring again? How do we stop this?
Well, if we have to stop this, there are regulatory, agencies in the aviation sector that would ensure that before, passengers are checked into every flight, they should be properly checked, assessed if they're mentally fit. If you are not physically fit, they wouldn't even allow you to travel. So we have to also ensure that people who have to travel must have the mental acuity, the mental alertness to be able to do so they don't put the lives of other people, of co-travelers, in danger. What Kwam Wasiu has done speaks to our character as a nation, A lot of people, I have had a friend from Burkina Faso, who has said, "Oh, Adams, how do you guys behave in that country? Because we don't even do this in our country, I am made to understand that the entire Burkina Faso has about just three airports. But before you have to travel in these climes, you have to be assessed properly. Kwam did a disgraceful thing to this country, and whatever consequences that his actions demand should be carried out to the fullest, We have to put our regulatory agencies, our aviation regulatory agencies, at their feet to ensure that be you a celebrity, a politically exposed person, you must have the mental alertness before you are allowed to travel. We have seen where we are not allowed to travel with our perfumes, with liquid, but we have seen that Kwam was passed through the barriers, with whether alcohol. His daughter said it was not alcohol, it was water. But he was checked into the flight with that content. So we should ask our regulatory agencies, and we should have to, ensure that our regulatory agencies live up, to national expectations.
And very quickly, thank you so much, Mr. Bunu. Very quickly, Mr. Ladin, let me ask you this. The National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers, NAPE, are asking the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority to reconsider its sanction on both pilots of Valuejet, the captain and her assistant. By the way, female, was the captain of the flight for that day. Do you think their licenses should be restored, even though you've said that we need to see the outcome of the investigation? Yes,
for the fact that if the air traffic control did not give her a signal to fly, the sanction should stand. It's about the law. It's not about the gender. It's not about the fact that, and the pilot we're talking about is also, at least her father is also a big name, a former senator, a serving senator. So this is not about gender, it's about the law. And the law is blind to whoever is involved. So if Kwam shouldn't have carried out flags, the first check, second check,
he shouldn't
those
have been
people
allowed.
Involved should also be sanctioned.
Right.
So it is about...
We're not even talking about them now, isn't it?
I'm adding them to the whole list, because if NCAA could speak with so much confidence that the president is also subjected to these rules. Who is Kwam? Who is the pilot? The law must take its stand. And the law must be supreme. It's the supremacy of the law. I'm just saying that if this happens, trust me, it's going to serve as a bad precedent, and somebody else will do it tomorrow and it will make a reference. Indeed. Like BK said in one of his programs, there is R. Kelly who did something wrong and is inside in prison.
Of course.
And is making a lot of appeal to the president.
Right.
But the law still stands.
Well, gentlemen, I'd like to move on to the last conversation for tonight. The Independent